Friends, it's that time of year. The pawpaw harvest is about to begin. It usually starts between the end of August and goes all the way through October. And we are going to go looking today to find some pawpaws to harvest. I'm so excited. So if you saw our very first video on tree IDs, I did a little bit of a discussion on pawpaws, like this one behind me with these really long leaves. Pawpaws are known as the Indiana banana. They are a native fruit to the United States. They can be found all over central, northeast, and southeast United States. They're all over the place. Indigenous peoples of North America have been eating and foraging, harvesting pawpaws for centuries. They're not really accessible because they ripen so quickly that they can't really be stored on grocery shelves. So if you're like, why have I never seen a pawpaw anywhere? How do I buy one? They're kind of hard to get unless you go to a farmer's market or you go foraging yourself. You're probably not going to find pawpaws very many places in Indiana. So we actually have quite a few pawpaw groves around camp. We've got one that is right back in Low Ropes. It's pretty accessible for the most part. And then we've got one that's, whoa, just stepped into spider web. We've got one right behind Poplar Cabin, which is technically in the forestry. So the really cool thing about state-owned lands is that you can forage berries, nuts, fruits, mushrooms, all kinds of things in any state-owned park. If it is privately owned, you can't do that. I would just say before you go forage anywhere that you should go check online and make sure that it's a place where it is accessible to do so. If you are hunting or fishing, you need licenses for that. But if you're just foraging fruits, nuts, berries, mushrooms, you don't need a license. You can just go. I will say if you're going off trail and you're going back into the woods, to be really careful of where you step so that you're not harming a relatively fragile ecosystem. That's why we have trails for people to stay on, so that we are not just like traipsing through everywhere and damaging really vital soil and ecosystems that typically aren't touched. So be careful if you are foraging. I'm kind of panicking because there were like 3 places where I knew pawpaws were. They were tiny, and Mike had said to me last week that they looked like they were about ready to ripen. He wasn't wrong. I'm a little late to the game, it would seem, because all 3 of the pawpaws that I was looking to get have already been taken. And that's one of the hard things with harvesting during this time, is not only am I trying to figure out when they drop, but I am also kind of fighting animals. Deer and raccoons love pawpaws. And so if I don't get out here quick, I'm not gonna find one. So the pawpaws that I was looking for before were all pretty small. I'd say like, I don't know, like that's not a very good size measurement, but about that big. The pawpaws that are in this grove behind Poplar Cabin are all pretty large. These trees are all pretty large. They get to be about, it looks like 25-30 feet, and they're still a mid-level canopy tree. Because they're larger, they're gonna take a lot longer to ripen, and so they might not be ready until the middle or end of September. Oh look, I found 2 trees hugging. Found one. Boop. Pawpaws, unlike a lot of other fruits, ripen kind of at their own pace. And so if you think of like a banana, bananas are harvested early and they're still green, and they ripen over time as they sit on shelves. So when they're harvested young, and then they come and sit on a shelf, by the time they get to our house, they are ready to eat. Pawpaws don't do that. If you harvest them too early, they do not ripen and get soft and sweet. They stay hard as a rock, and you just cannot really eat them. So that's why you're not gonna find them on a grocery store shelf. You've basically got to forage them right at the perfect time, or you cannot eat it. It's inedible and pretty gross. So how can you tell if it's ready? Well, this one is still pretty hard and it's pretty light green. They'll soften up and they'll start to change color. They sometimes are seen to be get black spots or things on them. But what I like to do to check, because I don't want to have to come down on the forest floor and be searching for pawpaws, although I have done that and that works, is I will take the stem of the tree and I'll shake it, and pawpaws, if they're not ready, they're not going to come off. So you see that this guy, I shake it and he's fine. He's just not ready to go. So I literally will have to check daily when I get here early in the morning to see if any pawpaws are ready to be harvested. But I want to see if I can find one today so that I can open it up and show you what it looks like inside. I found one that looks like it's about ready to go. So here it is. I'm gonna like twist it and see. Oh no, it's still pretty hard, so it's not ready to go yet. Here are two more. I'm just gonna feel that, twist it. Don't think that's ready. Here's another one. Oh, that one feels like almost ready. Not really sure yet though. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your pawpaw. Shake your pawpaw. Isn't nature neat? Oh, and watch where you're shaking, because one time I touched a stingy caterpillar and my hand hurt for 30 minutes. Ta-da! Found one. It smells like really tropical and fruity and fresh, and oh, I'm just so excited to eat it. So this is what a pawpaw looks like on the inside when you've opened it. I would say that it's got like a consistency similar to an avocado, but a taste tropical, almost a little bit mangoey, but kind of like a banana, and it's really soft, and they're hard to see. I will like scrape them out, but they've got these really big seeds on the inside that are pretty distinct, and you don't really eat the flesh, but you just eat all of this yellow pulp that's inside. Cute, right? Tasty. So I'm gonna be out over the next few weeks trying to find a few more of these. They're really good to freeze. I froze like a bunch of them last year. I still have a lot of them in my freezer at home. You can make like banana bread or put them in smoothies. But since they only last a few days before they ripen and get gross, you've really got to use them almost immediately or put them in the freezer almost immediately. I got my first pawpaw of the morning. As you can see, it's already started to kind of like over ripen right at the bottom. I don't know what happened there. Maybe a bug got into it or whatever. But I think the interesting thing when you look inside is that the more they ripen, the more they oxidize. So if you have ever like cut open an apple or peeled a potato and you see if they start to change color, they get a little brown. That's because they're oxidizing. Avocados do that as well. And so these turn more like a rusty, really burnt orange kind of color. So they start like this really pale, pretty like butter yellow, but the more that they're out and they oxidize, and it happens really quickly, the more overripe they are and they're not very good to eat anymore. Ah! No pawpaws, just rain. Nope. 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 Ah, no. Gotcha. Oh, see, he's a little bruised because he fell, but he's still good. Get the ant off there. Put him in my trusty bucket. Oh, he'll be fine. Here I am thinking I have no luck except for finding one pawpaw down by the lake, and then I see a bundle of 3 over by Oak Cabin, and of course I just give it the lightest tug and they all fall down. Oh, they make the most delightful thud sound when they fall, so I'm gonna have to get that recorded so you can hear it. It's just so, I don't know, nice to hear. So I'm heading across the bridge over to our broken bridge back in Low Ropes. And if you can see, there is a giant pawpaw tree. We are just surrounded by pawpaws back here. Anything here? Oh, there's big ones up there. Real big. Heard one fall and then I found another. Where'd it go? There it is. Hello, little buddy. Ta-da! Could have sworn I saw a third one, but maybe I'm crazy. Probably crazy. Here they are. Aren't they pretty? Ta-da! Now we have 3. And what's the best way to get out of here? Well, I've been foraging for a few days now, and I finally had enough pawpaws that I'd gathered up to be able to experiment with some baking. And so I made some pawpaw bread. Turned out pretty well, actually. You know, breads are basically like glorified thick cake, but I enjoy it, and I think I'll try to get Mike to eat some later today. Don't know why it turned pink, but meh. I want to encourage you over the next few weeks. Pawpaw season is not over yet, so if you want to try your hand at foraging, go visit a state park or forestry, or if you know someone with woods in their backyard, or if you've got woods in your backyard, go try it out and see if you like a pawpaw. I don't think you'll be disappointed, but who knows? Happy foraging! Very good.
Mmm.